Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, daily news, what's going on with the United States, what's going on in Washington, D.C., and what is going on with the next stimulus package, the $3.5 trillion American Families Plan, which will be the largest stimulus package ever yet to date at $3.5 trillion. We got a lot to cover in this video. Breaking news literally across the board, major information about new unemployment lawsuits across multiple different states with literally some breaking news, multiple different states with new lawsuit updates. Also, Republicans that want to impeach President Joe Biden. Yes, I will be updating you guys on some new information about that, as well as new information on the next stimulus package. What is going on with that as well? We got lots to cover in this episode. So if you're new to the channel, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. Remember, new videos. We got a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. Okay, a new lawsuit in the state of Idaho for the people suing their Republican governor. Idaho workers sue Republican Governor Brad Little over the end of extra unemployment benefits. So even though the unemployment benefits are going to be ending on September 6th, this is major news because even if it goes past the unemployment lawsuit goes past September 6th, the benefits can be retroactive. Okay, so whenever the final lawsuit is determined for each state, for each and every state that has unemployment lawsuits going on, all these benefits can be retroactive. Retroactive. So they can be multiple different weeks or months of retroactive unemployment back pay. Okay, so please keep that in mind. So Idaho and Iowa, Missouri, and Alabama are the most recent lawsuits states to be announced. Also, some breaking information. Ohio, after having been announced that they had lost their lawsuit, the appeals court has actually decided against that and they have now won their unemployment lawsuit. Yeah, literally crazy. So Ohio had originally lost their unemployment benefits, $300 per week lawsuit. And now, as you can see here, the Ohio Appeals Court decides in favor of unemployed Ohioans. What a turn of events. However, though, check this out. Appeals Court decides in favor of unemployed Ohioans, posted yesterday. It's a win for jobless workers, but more action is needed to restore benefits. The Ohio 10th District Court of Appeals today reversed a trial court decision and ruled the state law calls for Ohio to continue paying the $300 a week federal unemployment compensation benefits cut off by Governor Mike DeWine in June. It ruled the governor overstepped its bounds by turning down the assistance. However, the court did not grant the request the preliminary injunction reinstating benefits. It ruled that the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas first had to rule on whether the plaintiffs had satisfied the other requirements for such an injunction. Those include whether such an injunction would create an unjustifiable harm to third parties and that the public interest would be served by an injunction. Yeah, this is where legal terms kind of get a little bit complicated. Policy Matters Ohio Executive Director Hannah Halbert issued the following statement. Ohio Appeals Court reached a decision based on the law. Hundreds of thousands of Ohioans who had these benefits taken away need them to pay rent, buy food, and keep the lights on. The extra unemployment support also helps the state economy recover. Governor Mike DeWine should do the right thing and reinstate Ohio unemployment support, pay out the remaining weeks to Ohio unemployed citizens, mitigate the state's potential damages to over 200,000 plus Ohioans. Yeah, so I guess we'll have to see. Initially, Ohio lost the case, and now the appeals court has decided, as you see here in this headline, in favor of the unemployed Ohioans. So I guess we'll have to see. Ohio unemployed people have won the case. Yeah. Update on the other states. Maryland has won. Indiana initially won, then lost. But the payments will continue because they have to give a 30-day notice. And by the time they give a 30-day notice to stop the payments, September 6th will come. So the payments will continue until September 6th, from what I understand. Texas is still ongoing. Ohio initially lost and now won, just gave that update. Oklahoma has won, but it's now being appealed. Florida is ongoing. Arkansas has won. Tennessee is ongoing. South Carolina has been dismissed. Not sure if they're appealing or not. Louisiana has lost. Not sure if they're appealing. Alabama, Missouri, Iowa, and Idaho are new lawsuits that are ongoing. If you have any new information on any of these cases, please comment down below in the comments so that our viewers can read any new information that you may have and help out our community. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham comes out today and says, I think Joe Biden needs to be impeached, as you can see here on the screen. Senator Lindsey Graham said that President Biden should be impeached for his handling of the withdrawal from the U.S. troops in Afghanistan. Quote, I think he should be impeached, he says during a segment on Newsmax. Quote, I think Joe Biden deserves to be impeached because he's abandoned thousands of Afghans who fought with us, and he's going to abandon some American citizens because he's capitulated to the Taliban to a August 31st deadline, he added. Biden said the administration will stick to the August 31st deadline he set earlier in the year to withdraw all U.S. troops from the area. The U.S. has already evacuated tens of thousands of Afghan allies and U.S. citizens from the region. Quote, we are currently on pace to finish by August 31st, Biden said on Tuesday. The sooner we can finish, the better. Each day of operation brings additional risk to our troops, but the completion by August 31st depends upon the Taliban continuing to cooperate and allow access to the airport for those who were transporting out and no disruptions to our operations. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, Republican from Kentucky, has called on President Biden to ignore the August 31st deadline. From what I understand, President Biden would have to negotiate with the Taliban to stay there past August 31st, or show of force to stay there past August 31st, if not negotiate to stay there past August 31st, if they want to stay there past August 31st. At this point, I think President Biden thinks that they can evacuate everybody that they need to up until August 31st, which is about 6 more days. We will see if that will happen. Only time will tell. You can let me know your thoughts on the handling, if you think that he needs to be impeached, whatever your thoughts are on that matter. Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, very far right-leaning congresswoman, also says that she's going to submit articles of impeachment on President Joe Biden. Also, she said this a few days ago and says that, yes, I do have articles of impeachment to draw up and submit as well. Obviously, a lot of Republicans are very, very upset about the entire Afghanistan debacle, I guess we could say. So, yeah, there's a lot of Republicans that are very, very upset. Even some Democrats, to be fair, with the whole Afghanistan situation going on. Regarding stimulus, here is some House Democrats yesterday at a press conference in the U.S. House of Representatives.
And as the chairman mentioned, we came back from our district work period where we continued to see the transformational benefits of House Democrats and President Biden's policies having a positive effect on people in our communities. By passing a generational tax cut for middle class and working families, we're seeing substantial drops in child poverty, but we're seeing Americans hold on to more of their hard-earned dollars. I was pleased over the work period, just like many of my colleagues, to see $21 billion in rental assistance go out into our communities. And it has always been to keep our communities safe and strong and help them make ends meet. And we're seeing policies that we have passed here make a real difference on the ground. And as the chairman mentioned, we'll address the landmark reconciliation package.
Now that the initial voting process in the House of Representatives has started, the initial vote motion to proceed has passed in the House of Representatives with a 220 yes vote, all Democrats, to a 212 no vote. all Republicans in the House of Representatives, has passed a motion to proceed, the Democrats will be crafting the next stimulus package bill. From what I understand, the majority of the bill is already written, but there's some complex parts of the bill, like universal child care. And remember, this bill is expected to be thousands and thousands of pages, as well as the probably the a very complex part will be the free college portion of the bill, because largely they're creating free college out of thin air. There's no framework for that at all. It's something that is brand new. A lot of the things in this next package are game changing items. So, free childcare is going to be included in this next package for some low and middle income Americans, and for some middle and higher income Americans. I don't know what the exact income thresholds are going to be. We're going to find out when the bill comes out or when the bill passes. I think they said it was going to be like 7 or 8% of, no more than 7 or 8% of your income will go to childcare. So yeah, so basically, if you go to work and you send your child to child care, that you won't be able to spend so much of your income on that. So I don't know how it's going to work. Basically, you'll get a tax refund or a tax rebate, or you get to write something off on your taxes if you spend more than that or something along those lines. If you're low income and you go to work, you'll be able to basically put your child in childcare for free. That's obviously just one of the things on the list. The next most logical question is, well, what is everything on the list? Well, here is everything on the list. These four green items are things that have already been passed within the last 2 or 3 weeks. All the items in black are the items that could be included in this next stimulus package that we're going to be finding out a lot more details here in the next few days as they craft the bill and go to finally pass the bill. Okay, as you can see here, child care, which is just one particular item that I just happened to discuss here in the next or in the last minute, is item number 6 on the list. Okay, as well as the child tax credits. Of course, we all know what that is. Those monthly payments of $250 to $300 per month. They also said that there's going to be an adult tax credit here in this next package. Of course, I think we all know, if you've been watching the show, that a tax credit is basically just a check. Remember, a stimulus check is actually a tax credit. So whether they call this next package, whether they call them stimulus checks or they call them tax credits, remember, a tax credit is actually just a check. Whether you get it as a check on your tax return, you get it when you get your tax return, or you get it as an advanced tax credit like the child tax credits are. Remember, they're sending those out in advance as monthly checks every single month. The adult tax credit could work the same way. They could send them out in advance. As soon as they pass the package, they could send out the adult tax credits, whoever they're going to be eligible for. Or if it's just going to be a stimulus check for adults as well as for children, the child tax credits. We're going to be finding that out here in the next few days. So yeah, there's really a lot going on here for this next package, and they're now crafting the bill. Remember, a large majority of this bill is probably already written. Senator Bernie Sanders kind of confirmed that in a tweet here in the last few episodes. We went over that tweet. He said, "I wrote the damn bill." So he's kind of confirmed they've already written the bill here in the last few days, or have been writing the bill in the background. So remember, these bills are written by different subcommittees, and they have dozens and dozens of people writing these bills. Okay, so there's going to be adult tax credits in there. There's going to be child tax credits. We all know those are actually just monthly checks. There's going to be Medicare expansion in there to include hearing, dental, vision, hearing aid coverage, as well as possibly lowering the Medicare eligibility age for seniors. All these additional benefits for seniors, that is expected to cost up to $600 billion per year, every single year. The 2 years of free college, 2 years of free community college, I mean, making college free is going to be an absolute game-changing item. And it's not going to be for just teenagers or 19 or 20 years old. It's expected to be for everybody, as long as you make below a certain income threshold. I mean, I don't think it's going to be available for people that make $300,000 a year. I think there's going to be an income threshold on there, and that's going to be probably similar to the third stimulus check package. So, if you got a stimulus check, you're probably going to qualify for 2 years of free community college, which is going to be amazing to say that pretty much everybody watching the show will be eligible to just go to community college for free. Again, we don't know exactly how it's going to work until they pass this bill, but you could probably be 20 years old, 40 years old, 60 years old, or 80 years old and go to college after they pass this bill for free. You don't even probably need to go and get a job or anything. You could just go for fun, just to take a few classes and enlighten yourself and just go as a hobby, just to, maybe you want to take a few classes on astronomy or astrology or philosophy, just again, just to do something in your spare time if you wanted. Maybe you're retired and you're 75 years old and you just want to go out and take a few college classes. Well, that is going to be something that's probably going to be, you're going to be able to do, because there's going to be free college available to most Americans in this next package. So all these things on this list are up for discussion in this next package. The only thing that's probably not up for discussion anymore on this list is unemployment benefit bonus money. That could change in the future if it continues to get worse. The only way that's really eligible anymore is going to be through states. States can extend it on their own, President Biden said. But really, the only states that are probably going to do that are going to be Democratic run governors, because we know that all the Republican governors have already opted out on their own. So I don't think any Republican governors are going to decide on their own that they want to use their own stimulus money to do that. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah, so let me know your thoughts on this. Everything is moving forward. The U.S. House of Representatives literally came back on Monday and on Tuesday passed the vote. Even though this is a motion to proceed, it's actually a very important vote, because this means that they are now proceeding on the entire package. They're now putting the bill together, and they're going to be moving forward on the stimulus package first, ahead of the physical infrastructure package, which was already half passed because it had passed the Senate, fully passed the Senate. So remember, there were some Democrats that wanted to just pass it completely and move forward with that in the House of Representatives. And basically, Nancy Pelosi said, no, that's not what we're going to do. We're going to move forward with the $3.5 trillion stimulus package first in the House of Representatives. So it was a very important vote, because they're going to be moving forward with the stimulus package, the $3.5 trillion American Families Plan, which is largely known, the Democrats themselves call it an anti-poverty plan, first. So we're going to be finding out what's going to be in this package, who's going to be getting checks, what is exactly going to be in there. We are largely expecting, at least at the bare minimum, 65 million children to be getting checks in this next package, with an extension of the child tax credits. So at the bare minimum, I think we're expecting at least 65 million children to be receiving checks of the child tax credits. Remember, those end at the end of this year. They're also saying that there is going to be some form of an adult tax credit. And what that is going to, remember, a tax credit is basically just a check, whether you get it on your tax return and they give you an extra 500, 1,000, 2,000, whatever it's going to be, who's going to be eligible for it, how much it's going to be, whether they give you the check in advance, like right now, like the child tax credits are. Remember, they give you those every month. Whether they call it a fourth stimulus check, or they call it a child tax credit or an adult tax credit. All these things we're going to be finding out, okay? But they have said that there's probably going to be, I say probably because nothing's for certain until it's passed, the president signs it, right? And the House and the Senate pass it. Nothing's for certain until it's literally done. So I'm not going to promise anything, because I don't know until they pass it, the House, the Senate, and the president signs it. So we will see. I'm just here reporting to you everything they do. I'm just the messenger, so I don't know exactly what they're going to do. We will see. I will be reporting to you the details as they come in, and what could happen as I see it. I'll show it to you on the screen. So I like to show you these articles, show you these interviews, show you what they're saying, so you can see it exactly on the screen, so you guys know the details as I see them as well. So make sure to subscribe down below. I'll keep you up to date. Remember, new videos come out here on our channel every day. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video. in the next video.